In this video, we're going to talk about calculating simple interest and account balances. The formula for simple interest is I, interest earned, equals P, principal or starting balance, times the interest rate as a decimal times time in years. Before we look at examples of how to calculate simple interest, we're going to remind ourselves how to turn a percent into a decimal. Remember, percent means out of 100. The shortcut to turn a percent into a decimal is we move the decimal 2 times to the left. Let's look at some examples. Our first example is 3.5%. I know it already has a decimal in it, but it's not officially in decimal form until we take the decimal and move it 2 times to the left, and we fill in that invisible 0. So 3.5% as a decimal is 0.035. Let's look at 6%. 6 is a whole number, and so there's an invisible decimal at the end, and we're going to take it and we're going to move it 2 times to the left, and so 6% as a decimal is 0.06. Next up, we have 12%. Again, it's a whole number, so there's an invisible decimal at the end. We're going to take it and we're going to scoosh it 2 times to the left, so 12% as a decimal would be 0.12. Finally, we're going to look at 125%. Again, it's a whole number, so there's a decimal point at the end. 2 times to the left, 125% as a decimal is 1.25. Calculating simple interest and account balance example 1. Barbie is depositing money into a savings account that earns simple interest. Her bank is offering 6% annual interest. If she leaves her money in the bank for 12 years, how much interest is she earning from the bank if she deposits $800 initially? The $800 is going to be our principal. The 6% is our rate, and the 12 years is our time. First, we need to turn 6% into a decimal. So I'm going to scoot a decimal point over 2 times to the left, and so I'm going to get 0.06 for my rate. Now I'm going to plug everything into my formula. So interest equals principal times rate times time. So 800 times 0.06 times 12. I'm going to put that in my calculator, and I will get an interest amount of $576. The next question is asking us, what is Barbie's total account balance after 12 years? We have our principal, which is still $800, our interest earned of $576, and we're going to add those together to get a total of $1,376. Let's look at another example. Ken takes out a loan for $800 to cover books for his first semester of college. His loan is earning simple interest at a rate of 12.5% annually. How much interest is his loan accumulating if it takes half a year to pay the loan back? 800 is our principal, 12.5% is our rate, and half a year is our time. And so for half a year, we're going to represent it as 0.5. I need to take and turn 12.5% into a decimal. So I'm going to take my 12.5% and move my decimal 2 times to the left. So my rate is 0.125. Now I'm going to plug everything into my simple interest formula. Interest equals principal times rate times time. So I'm going to do 800 times my rate of 0.125 times my time of half a year. When I put that in my calculator, I get a total interest earned of $50. Our next question asks, what is Ken's total he has to pay back after half a year? So there's my principal of $800, the $50 he earned in interest. I'm going to add those together, and I'm going to get a total account balance or total payback balance of $850.